Iran's fiery and expanding retaliation has now dangerously and alarmingly spread to this major NATO nation for the very first time. In a historically unprecedented first, Iran has now directly and dangerously targeted NATO as the Middle East conflict rapidly and dangerously escalates beyond all expectations. An Iranian ballistic missile was only shot down at the last moment while it was actively and aggressively heading toward this critically important NATO member nation. NATO now openly condemns Iran, but could Trump and Netanyahu's relentless war ultimately trigger an even far bigger, catastrophic conflict beyond the Middle East? In a massive and dangerous escalation of the ongoing Middle East conflict, an Iranian ballistic missile directly targeted the NATO member nation of Turkey. The incoming Iranian ballistic missile was successfully struck down by active NATO air defense systems while it was actively moving toward Turkey on March 4. Turkey's defense ministry officially confirmed that the incoming Iran missile was timely intercepted and neutralized while it was heading directly toward its protected national airspace. Dramatic video accessed exclusively by Reuters showed the unmistakable debris of NATO air defense interceptors widely strewn across Turkish soil after the interception. Turkey's Ministry of Defense officially confirmed that the downed Iranian missile's fragments ultimately fell over the Dortiol district located in Hatay province. Turkey officially stated that no casualties or injuries were caused in the immediate aftermath and forcefully condemned Iran for this blatant hostile act against its territory. Turkey's defense ministry said, I quote, "A ballistic munition detected to have been launched from Iran and, after traversing through the restricted airspace of both Iraq and Syria, directed aggressively towards Turkish airspace, was timely engaged and completely neutralized by NATO air and missile defense assets actively deployed across the eastern Mediterranean." The munition fragment that fell in the Dortiol district of Hatay was conclusively identified as belonging to the air defense interceptor used to neutralize this aerial threat in the air. There were no casualties or injuries reported in the incident. Our absolute determination and full operational capacity to ensure the security of our country and our citizens remain at the highest possible level. While Turkey firmly stands on the side of regional stability and lasting peace, it is fully capable of safeguarding its sovereign territory and all its citizens against threats originating from any actor or any direction. Every single necessary step required for the complete defense of our land and airspace will be taken resolutely and without any hesitation whatsoever. We firmly remind the international community that our sovereign right to directly respond to any hostile act carried out against our country remains unconditionally reserved. We urgently call on all parties to immediately refrain from any steps that could further escalate the dangerous conflict in the region. In this critical context, we will actively continue consultations with NATO and our other key allies. End quote. An outraged Turkey foreign ministry has reportedly conveyed a formal diplomatic protest directly to Iran over the dangerous ballistic missile that was fired toward its airspace. Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan also reportedly placed an urgent direct call to his Iranian counterpart Abbas Araghchi in the immediate aftermath of the incident. Fidan specifically and firmly urged Araghchi to strictly avoid taking any steps that could in any way lead to a wider, uncontrollable spread of the ongoing regional conflict, according to Anadolu. Very soon after Turkey officially confirmed the successful Iranian missile interception, the entire NATO alliance swiftly and firmly condemned Tehran for the incident. A formal NATO statement clearly stated that the powerful alliance firmly stands shoulder to shoulder with all its member allies, specifically and directly including Turkey in this instance. NATO further directly accused Tehran of recklessly carrying out dangerous and indiscriminate attacks across the entire broader Middle East region. NATO spokeswoman Alison Hart said, and I quote, "We strongly condemn Iran's direct targeting of Turkey. The NATO alliance stands firmly and unequivocally with all of its allies, specifically including Turkey, as Iran brazenly continues its indiscriminate attacks widely across the region. Our robust deterrence and full defense posture remains exceptionally strong across all operational domains, specifically including all matters when it comes to air and missile defense systems." End quote. It remains deeply unclear whether the Iranian missile was actually deliberately targeting Turkey, but this unprecedented incident could mark a genuinely major and dangerous escalation in the entire region. This alarming incident would also officially mark the very first time since February 28 that Iran has directly launched a ballistic attack against a fully protected NATO member nation.